From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Ashley Humphrey.
And I'm Barbara Joy Tillman. Thanks for joining us.
BJ, is it safe to say that UNC basketball is back?
Ashley, I think it's a little too early to tell if we're all the way back, but it sure has been great to see a new side of this team these last couple of games.
Well, with 3 back-to-back conference wins with 4 more to go, the team is looking to keep their tournament hopes alive. The Heels hosted Virginia in the Dean Dome on Saturday afternoon. Carolina wasted no time, jumping out to a 15-2 lead as Virginia struggled to find the basket. The Heels put together a 15-0 run, including a dunk from Drake Powell and a 3 from Jalen Withers, building a 21-2 advantage in the first 8 minutes. Despite a late surge from the Cavaliers, Carolina took a comfortable 46-34 lead into halftime. In the second half, Withers continued his strong play, posting his second double-double of the season with 16 points and 11 rebounds, including a season-high 4 3-pointers. Carolina shot 48% for the game and maintained control from the start, finishing strong with an 81-66 victory.
Like just in shoot around today, they were, yelling and jumping around. And at the beginning of the year, it was, I had to start it.
Our men's basketball analyst Spencer Haskell joins us now for more about Saturday's win. Spencer, with their backs against the wall, it seems like the Heels might have figured something out in the past couple of games. What did you take away from Saturday?
Ashley, I'm not 100% ready to say that they've got it figured out yet, but I was definitely pleased with Saturday's win. Now, I think Saturday was definitely a letdown spot after Wednesday's blowout over NC State, but the Heels came out ready to play, and the biggest thing I noticed was their ball movement and their offensive flow. Now, here in this first clip, we're going to see Elliot Cadeau in the half court. He's going to move it over to Jalen Withers on the wing, who finds a cutting Seth Trimble in the paint. Trimble goes high-low down to Washington in the post. He gets the double team, beats it, and kicks it back out to Jalen Withers for a confident step-in corner 3. Now, I think that play alone is a perfect summary of Saturday's game. 4 out of the 5 Tar Heels on the floor touched the ball in that half-court possession, and it was capped off by Jalen Withers confidently knocking down a 3. He's been huge for the Tar Heels as of late, and he came up big again on Saturday. And in this next clip here, we're going to see it's just more of that same good ball movement that we saw in the first clip. Here we'll see R.J. Davis give it down to Vin Allen Lubin in the high post, and Elliot Cadeau makes a great cut down the lane to the basket, and then he uses that vision of his to find a wide-open Vin Allen Lubin rolling to the hoop for an uncontested alley-oop slam. Now, I also think that it is definitely worth noting that it's not just the ball moving in these clips. Neither play will be possible without off-ball movement. Guys aren't just standing still. In the first clip, it was Trimble cutting to the paint, and in the second clip, it was Elliott cutting down the lane. At the end of the day on Saturday, it was just really great to see this Carolina offense run smoothly and have way less of that ugly ISO ball we were seeing a ton of early on this season. Ashley?
You mentioned the offense running smoothly and the ball movement, but what else ignited this offensive reawakening?
Yeah, Ashley, call me crazy, but I think Jalen Withers has the ability to unlock this basketball team. He's averaging more than 14 points in the past 3 games, and he's doing it playing with a ton of confidence. And then defensively, Withers' height and athleticism allows the Heels to play with a lot more toughness and size on the defensive end. So that I think that if Jalen Withers keeps this up, the Heels could find themselves in a pretty good spot moving forward.
Well, hoping he took some of that confidence with him down to Tallahassee, where the team plays FSU tonight. Thanks, Spencer.
The women's basketball team concluded a road trip on Sunday with a tough matchup against the Louisville Cardinals. And the Cardinals didn't make it easy for the Heels as they took a quick 10-3 lead. Louisville guard Jada Curry was on fire in the first half, but Tar Heel guard Treyana Crisp answered with 2 3-pointers at the top of the key. In the fourth quarter, freshman guard Lainey Grant just couldn't be stopped as she gave the Heels their second lead of the game with this shot and 1 3-pointer. Sophomore guard Renaya Kelly sealed the deal with 2 clutch free throws. Crisp and Grant finished with 19 points each as the Heels defeated the Cardinals 79-75, earning their 7th win in a row. Second-ranked women's lacrosse hosted 4th-ranked Syracuse on Saturday for a top 5 showdown at Dorrance Field, Carolina's second top 5 showdown in 2 weeks. UNC was sharp on offense during the first, with Chloe Humphrey finding her sister Ashley from the side of the net, putting the Heels on the board. Kylie Motis kept the momentum going, scoring this goal high into the net from the top of the crease. Later in the game, Syracuse attempted to push on defense but could not get past goalkeeper Betty Nelson, who recorded a career high of 9 saves. Freshman Addison Patillo sealed the deal for the Heels with this quick shot in the 4th. UNC cruised past Syracuse 16-8, their second top 5 win of the season. Now let's hear from our women's lacrosse analyst, Sophia Gray, to get some insight into how the Heels dominated their first ACC matchup of the season. Sophia?
Thanks, BJ. The last time Carolina took the field against Syracuse, it wasn't pretty. The Heels lost 20-5, but as Coach Levy has emphasized time and time again, this is a completely different Carolina team, and they proved it. The Tar Heels dominated in every statistical category, completely overpowering the undefeated Orange. Carolina won 18 of 27 draw controls, outshot Syracuse 51-27, and secured 22 of the 33 ground balls. A statement performance from the Heels. From the first whistle, Carolina took control and never looked back. The Tar Heels jumped out to an 8-2 lead after the first quarter, setting the tone early. A key part of that, sophomore goalie Betty Nelson, who had a career-high 9 saves. Here, we're going to see Syracuse attacker Emma Ward at X with the ball. Now, Emma is a leading scorer for Syracuse. She's very dangerous in one-on-one situations, so she's going to take Brooklyn Walker-Welch and drive to the cage. She's going to shoot off stick side high right, but Nelson is going to be all over it, picking up on this quickly. She's going to deflect the shot, pick up the ground ball, and lead Carolina to one of many successful clears during the game. Just last week, the Tar Heels struggled on the draw against Florida, but this time, draw specialist Sarah Gresham stepped up in a big way, securing a game-high 7 draw controls, her most as a Tar Heel. Standing at 5'8", she's going to utilize her height. Here, she's going to pull the ball back, box out her defender, and scoop the ball perfectly in the air. But she's not just winning draws for herself. She can set up her teammates too. Sarah here is going to use her strength and push the ball to direct it towards her teammate, Eliza Osborne, who's going to put Carolina in prime position. The Tar Heels capitalized on the opportunity, turning it into another goal. This second top 5 win for UNC was impressive indeed, marking the Tar Heels their first ACC win of the season.
Sophia, I know the Heels have had some tough back-to-back matchups, but what does this next week look like for them?
Carolina will take on Louisville away this Friday, and although it's not another top 5 matchup, they will still need to keep playing with the intensity we've been seeing this season so far. It is still early, but these games are important for the tougher matchups ahead, especially as conference play intensifies.
Thanks, Sophia.
3 sisters, 1 team. The Humphrey sisters, Nicole, Ashley, and Chloe are making history on the lacrosse field here at UNC. Adair Martin tells us playing together has brought them closer, along with unique challenges and unforgettable moments.
I would have to pinch myself, honestly. I've dreamed about this moment for I think 10 years now. So to finally be able to hear my name called in the stands, it's I get goosebumps. And have my sisters by my side is just something I never imagined. And
the Humphreys are more than just a last name. They've changed the field for UNC lacrosse. They've spent a lifetime building chemistry from backyard battles to collegiate competitions. Now they're making the most of the opportunity to compete together at the highest level.
Even when I was going through my surgery, it was really nice just knowing that there was kind of this really cool experience and really unique experience on the other side of everything.
After spending 4 years at UNC, Nicole transferred to USC to play her final year, but suffered a season-ending injury. However, it was a blessing in disguise. She could finish her career right where she started, with her sisters at UNC.
Playing with my sisters makes it feel a lot more like I'm playing in the backyard. Coming from Stanford, being a transfer student has been really difficult, and having two sisters on the team is definitely helpful, and having that immediate chemistry with two players on the offensive ends.
Ashley transferred to UNC last year after finishing her undergraduate studies at Stanford. Having Nicole and Chloe by her side, Ashley's journey wasn't just about fitting into a new team, but about finding familiarity and comfort in the faces she knew best.
Decisions never influenced mine, so I think like going to UNC, it wasn't to follow Nicole in her footsteps. It kind of just was how things happened, and once she committed, I fell in love with UNC. So
Chloe is the youngest of the sisters, only a sophomore, but she's discovering her own identity on the team.
they're both very different, so I think I kind of am a combination of the both of them. I think Ashley's stick work is something that everyone admires, and Nicole's like hard work and her endurance is something that I always admired as well. So I try to combine both of their strengths into my play.
Off the field, the Humphreys are just as close. Whether it's going out to dinner, watching movies, or just hanging out, they do it all together.
Three sisters, one team, and countless memories. The Humphreys are creating a legacy of family, love, and lacrosse. A bond that goes beyond the field, one that will last a lifetime. I'm Adair Martin reporting.
All three sisters are so talented, but Ashley Humphrey is definitely my favorite. Just something about that name. But fans can watch these sisters try to dominate again this Friday at Louisville at noon. The 9th-ranked men's lacrosse team traveled to Baltimore to take on 4th-ranked Johns Hopkins. The Heels got off to a fast start, scoring 3 goals in just 60 seconds, with Owen Duffy getting them started by taking the ball right to the net. Johns Hopkins followed up with 2 goals of their own, both of which came from Russell Melendez, who had his 11th goal of the season. In a tight match, star Dominic Petramalis scored his 6th goal of the game from long range off an assist from Duffy to secure the win for the Heels, 13-12.
On Saturday, the Diamond Heels traveled 20 minutes down the road to take on the ECU Pirates for the battle at the DBAP. The Durham Bulls Athletic Park hosted the two teams, and UNC showed off its pitching depth with 4 pitchers leaving 10 Pirates on base. Gavin Gallagher and Hunter Stokely came with the offense in a 2-0 Carolina win. In Sunday's game at the Bosch, the Tar Heels came out hot in the first inning with this 3-run home run that catcher Luke Stevenson launched to right field. Even though pressure mounted as ECU took the lead in the 3rd and 4th innings, Carolina didn't waver and kept their composure, with the defense erupting a good bit of ECU's plays. Bass then hit his stride in the 6th inning, driving a double to right field that tied the game 6-6. The Heels finished off the Pirates with the dominant 11-6 victory.
They fought. They threw some good arms out there, and got to give credit to our guys to hang in there, even though we went behind a couple times and found a way to win. So we're excited to get on the road and play on the road.
First pitch in Greenville is at 5 p.m. as the Heels look to sweep the series. Saturday afternoon, the Heels hit Anderson Softball Stadium for the Carolina Classic, where they clash with former ACC foe, Maryland. The Heels got off to a hot start, with Kat Rodriguez blasting a hit into the outfield for a double, bringing Alex Coleman home to score. Sanaa Thompson would score right after that on a sacrifice fly by Kiana Pierce. Pitcher Kenna Ray Dart kept Maryland off the scoreboard with a commanding performance, conceding only 3 hits with 5 strikeouts. Back-to-back runs from the Tar Heels would extend the lead, and UNC cruised to a 5-0 win.
On Sunday against Wagner, the Tar Heels started off hot with 4 runs by the end of the first. With the bases loaded, Kiana Pierce stepped up to bat. She doubles to center field, sending Myrtle, Thompson, and Rodriguez all the way home. In the 3rd inning, the Heels find themselves with the bases loaded yet again after multiple walks from the Warner pitcher. Thompson scores again, and so does Burns after a throwing error from Wagner. Nikki Harris ended her no-hitter with a strikeout, and the Heels win by run rule 11-0.
The Heels closed out the Carolina Classic against Queens. In the bottom of the 3rd, freshman Brighton Burns scored after Grace Jackson singled to left field. Later, Sanaa Thompson's clutch 3-bagger to center field in the bottom of the 6th was followed by a ground out from Carly Myrtle to land the Heels their 4th score of the game. The Queens Royals would find their first and only hit in the 7th inning, but the Heels would win with their 3rd shutout in a row, 4-0.
It's just hunger, and then we all just want to get out there again and You saw it in the first inning, we put up 2 runs, so I think we just wanted to get back on the field and get going.
Let's throw it over to our softball analyst, Alden Archdeacon, to see how the Heels have been doing to start out the season.
Thanks, Ashley. We're only 2 weeks into UNC softball season, and the Heels have had a solid start to the year, sitting at a record of 12-3, with their only losses coming to Auburn twice in the Tiger Invitational and to number 21 ranked overall, South Carolina. One of the major reasons UNC has had early success is because of its pitchers, and namely Kenna Ray Dark. This is her 3rd year with UNC, and she's gotten off to a really fast start. Here she is. She's going to be in command of the mound. She's going to throw an off-speed pitch to the batter, and the batter's going to strike out, not even swinging. That's what we look for. Here she is again. She throws a drop curve to the left side of the plate, and the batter swings and misses. Kenna Ray Dark has been doing this throughout the season thus far. She leads the team in strikeouts, and she has a 2.29 ERA, which is absolutely stellar. But if UNC wants to compete with the best of the best, it's going to take more than just good pitching. They need an electric offense too. And luckily for the Heels, I think they might have found that in Pitt transfer Kat Rodriguez. She's shown she's dynamic at the plate without even hitting a single home run this season. You know what she does? She gets on base. Here she is with a runner in scoring position. She hits a little pop-up to right field, squares up the ball perfectly, and drives in a run with an RBI double. In this next play, it's going to be bases loaded, stakes are higher. She hits a line drive to left field, gets an RBI single, and drives in 2 runs. I think we can expect this from her throughout the entire year. She has over a 400 batting average. So if the Heels can combine both this good hitting out of Kat Rodriguez and the top of the lineup with some star pitching with Kenna Ray Black, I think there's no doubt they will be a tough out for some of the opposing teams they play. Ashley?
These Heels have gotten out to a good start. How do you think they'll fare in ACC play?
Well, Ashley, I think the ACC is really good this year. They have 4 teams ranked in the top 25. With teams like Florida State, and I know Duke, just down the road, there are some top-level teams in the conference. That being said, I think the Heels can be a top 3 team if they can continue to get production out of the top of the lineup.
Thanks, Alden.
At the ACC Championships on Friday night, Sebastian Lunak surged to 3rd in the 200-meter fly, breaking his own school record. Lunak wasn't the only Tar Heel to finish on the podium, as Skylar Smith grabbed bronze in the 100-meter breaststroke. The men's 400 medley relay team finished in 6th place, but they set a school record. The men's team finished 3rd and the women 5th. And on Saturday, the men's team finished 4th, their best result in nearly a decade. Aranza Vasquez Montano took the gold in the 1-meter dive and was named the meet's most valuable diver. Freshman Sophia Knight earned a spot on the podium with a 3rd-place finish, and Ben Delmar set a school record in the 200 breast, placing 5th. Both the men's and women's 400-yard freestyle relays set new benchmarks for the program, rounding off a memorable championship performance. On Friday night, the women's gymnastics team headed to Raleigh to take on the NC State Wolfpack to start a 2-meet weekend. Freshman JoJo Valahovic showed why she's the 3-time defending ACC Newcomer of the Week. Valahovic dominated on vault with a 9.875, matching her career high. On the uneven bars, junior all-around Claire Stippick had a stunning performance, earning a career high of 9.85. And finally, on vault, junior Kaya Forbes wowed with this beautiful pass, earning a career high of 9.9. But despite the Heels' efforts, they fell short, finishing 2nd. On Sunday, the Heels faced the top-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The star of the night was Lolly Dekanoizda, winning the uneven bars. The top-ranked Sooners pulled through, winning 198.05 to 196.2. Next, the Tar Heels will host Penn, Temple, and Yale for the UNC quad meet on Friday.
The women's tennis team opened ACC play on the road against Syracuse on Friday afternoon in the first of 2 weekend matches. UNC set the tone early as Reese Brantmeyer and Alani's Hamilton rolled to a 6-2 doubles win, while Tangleague and Maltby secured the point with a 6-3 victory. In singles, UNC took over. Brantmeyer won 6-1, 6-3. Tangleague controlled her opponent, and boys sealed the match with a 6-3, 6-0 two-setter. With 4 players ranked in the ITA top 35, UNC moves to 8-3 on the season and 1-0 in ACC play. On Sunday, Carolina faced Boston College. The Tar Heels won the doubles point. Reese Brantmeyer and Alani's Hamilton won 6-2, and Lindsay Zink and Tatum Evans won 6-3. Carolina was victorious in singles as well, with 3 straight set victories from Brantmeyer, Evans, and Alana Boyce. Brantmeyer concluded her match 6-0, 6-2 with impressive ground strokes and great placement of the ball to outplay her opponent. UNC will face ECU and UNCW at home on Thursday. The Tar Heel wrestling team hit the road this weekend to face off against conference rival Stanford in an ACC dual match. Redshirt junior Sonny Santiago opened the night with a 13-7 dub thanks to a few shifty takedowns of his opponent. Senior Joshua Ogunsanya entered the final period of his bout down 9-3, but achieved a 15-13 victory against the nation's 4th-ranked wrestler in the weight class. Nolan Neves got in on the action with a 3-2 decision for his 3rd straight ACC dual win. With the 24-9 victory, Carolina clinches a share of the conference regular season title. On Sunday against Oregon State, only 4 wrestlers brought home victories, including Spencer Moore, Ethan Oakley, Gavin Kane, and Nolan Neves. Neves won his 4th straight dual victory and 3rd-ranked victory of the season. Despite a sudden death takedown victory from Moore, the Tar Heels fell to Oregon State 22-14.
North Carolina track and field made history at the BU Terrier DMR Challenge, setting not 1, but 2 school records in the distance medley relay. The men's team posted the 3rd fastest time in the NCAA this season, and on the women's side, the team shattered the UNC school record with the 7th fastest time in the nation. Meanwhile, Alyssa Hernandez is now the 5th best all-time in Carolina history in the 800 meters. And at the Virginia Tech Challenge, Gracie Bolick placed 2nd overall in the weight throw, and Kalani Witherspoon and Evie Colbreth finished 1st and 3rd in the 60-meter hurdles. The Tar Heels medaled in both 200-meter finals, with Donovan Calhoun winning for the men and Sydney Campbell placing 3rd for the women. Back in Chapel Hill, the Tar Heel fencing team hosted the ACC championship this weekend. The men's team finished 2nd, falling to Notre Dame in the team final. But the Heels did take home some hardware as Eli Lippman took the individual men's épée, becoming a 2-time ACC champion. The UNC women's soccer team traveled to take on UNC Wilmington on Saturday to play their first game since winning the national championship. The first chance fell to the Seahawks when Ava Vaughn put the ball on the wrong side of the post. Wilmington continued the pressure as Vaughn struck the near post. UNC found very few chances to score, with the closest they came being this curled effort by Olivia Thomas. Neither team found the net, ending in a scoreless draw.
It's time for this week's 2 Play of the Week contenders. Take a look behind me. Our first contender is from freshman basketball superstar Drake Powell, who jabs past the Virginia defender and throws it down for an electric finish in the Dean Dome. It's going to be a tough decision this week, though, because take a look at our next contender. Men's lacrosse sensation Dom Petramala fires an absolute rocket. Coming behind the net, he snipes it past the Johns Hopkins defender, adding to his incredible 6-goal game. Make sure to check out our Instagram story and vote for your favorite play of the week. We'll announce the winner on Friday.
Carolina women's soccer is more than just a powerhouse program. It's a legacy built on excellence, resilience, and belief. Our documentary on the 2024 National Championship team airs this Wednesday. But for now, here's a first look.
North Carolina was 16 seconds away from a national championship. And you see the disappointment.
89th minute, the go-ahead goal. 4 in a row for BYU after being down 0-3 and it's in the Elite Eight against mighty UNC for BYU.
A lot of things changed from our game from BYU. You know, we had 11 girls go into the pro leagues, and then we had, you know, a number of players that went into the transfer portals.
Anson Dorrance is really a living legend. Coach will now have a little more time to recognize just all he's accomplished as the 21-time NCAA champion announced his retirement.
There's no way in the world that we replace Anson Dorrance. But for the first time in our history, we're going to have to find the second coach in the history of North Carolina. Damon Nahas, who's here today, will be our interim coach for this year. And Damon, congratulations, and thank you for allowing us to do that.
Yeah, you know, Anson retiring was a shock to everyone, and I knew it real time as everybody else did. And when Bubba, you know, found out about it.
Ashley, I'm really excited to see this documentary on Wednesday. What an amazing story we all saw unfold last season with the women's soccer team, and I know that the documentary team will have an incredible inside look.
That's right. We have some really cool stuff in store for everyone to see that will shine light on the team's journey to a national championship. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Friday with a preview of another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.